Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Hope you guys are having a really good Sunday.
Yes.
And
Sunday.
today, welcome to the stream. Oops, get a little bit blur. Make sure that it's focused a little bit. This is the FSL circuit. My name is Iris, and casting inside me today, just like yesterday, it's Kindlefu.
Hi guys.
And today we are into our first semi finalists, and
Yep.
we have Space Gamer Mamacita up against Reventail.
Yep.
And it looks like they're already on drafting. So let's just go straight into the draft.
Right. So I think we caught a glimpse of the game between Raventail and Pink Phoenix.
Oh
if
yeah,
I'm
it
not
was
wrong.
on the Thailand stream yesterday.
Yeah. So I think Raventail is quite a strong team. They have very good grasp of how they want to play their team comps as well as the rotations around the map.
Oh,
so I think this is really interesting for us because Space, as we have seen yesterday, really dominated whatever games they were, whatever teams they were placed against them.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. I don't know. Depending on the draft, I really think this is a 50-50. It can go either way.
I think it might be. Yeah, it most likely could be a 50-50. I mean, it is still early into the draft. We haven't really seen either of these teams play a different style yet.
Yep.
Or rather, for Space Gamer Masida, we've seen them play a little bit more aggressive towards the early game, and then they usually maintain that snowball lead all the way. So hopefully they will be able to do the same coming into this game. But we went to, like we said, we saw a small glimpse of them.
Yep.
They played really well against their opponents as well. So I think this could be a challenge. But yeah, today we have two games that will be streamed. First is this game that you're watching, it's the BO3, and then we will stream the grand finals that will be happening after this match. So that match will be the winner of this game up against, or rather, winner of this set up against the winner of the matchup between Biraram United Esports and Day9 Realme. Which we saw Day9 didn't have too much of a difficulty as well, similar to Space. To hold their opponents on Lunaris as well as Mary Jane. So unfortunately for them, that is the end of the line, and the losers of these two matchups will go to the third playoffs. Obviously, we will also have the winners of the competition come to the FSL Elite and represent Thailand in Singapore March. That is the matchup. So if you want to find out more about FSL as a circuit, as well as catch all the other games that have been happening, catch all the news on FSL, you can head on down to our Facebook page as well as our Instagram or any of our streaming platforms. But before we go into the draft, big shout out to official partners Dreamcore, Super Solid, Aftershock, and Yahoo for being our respective partners. But let's go into the draft, shall we? So we're gonna see Florentino as well as Zeno getting banned out. We're gonna see Varus getting picked up by Space. Nothing too weird so far. I would have thought that Varus was banned out, but it looks like we're seeing a lot more Xenios getting banned out.
Yeah. I think they understand how dangerous Xenio can be on the back line, of course. As late game, Xenio can be very tanky as well. But I think one very interesting thing for us is that if you take a look at Raventail, you can actually see Tane as one of their first picks. Which we have been seeing Tane being banned out throughout the games yesterday. So I think this is interesting. Perhaps we'll get a glimpse of why Tane is being banned in this particular side of
I mean the hero is pretty straightforward, right? You have a little bit of a dash, you got a push as well, you got ultimate that does a really huge amount of burst. So I guess you can say that it's not a mystery as to how Tane really works. It really comes down to how a team want to utilize a Tane, be it offensively or defensively. And at the same time, he's a really flexible pick because not flexible pick, but a really flexible tank because you have that disengage and engage for yourself. And he's a very thick tanker as well, so it's a really good front line. They pair it with a Maja, and suddenly your front line looks really thick, really solid, and you can kind of just focus on maybe picking a babysitter. And
Joker.
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah, because Tane's passive, I think, allows him to regenerate. A huge chunk of health. Once he falls below a certain percentage, and I think that is probably a game changer for most teams in a team fight. So it'll be interesting to see. They are going for kind of a poke and burst kind of concept here. Joker, with the ultimate as well. Invincibility frames on his second skill.
I mean, they banned out Diana, they banned out the Trixig as well, so they're banning a lot of these heroes that have the capability to have very aggressive engagement. And I thought they would have banned out the Zil, but looks like they're going to ban out the Darcy. doesn't really matter because they have another one, Volkov getting banned out as well.
Mm.
So a lot of warriors getting banned out on the side of a Space Gamer Mamacita, whereas the side of
Raventail.
Raventail, they looks like they really want to focus a little bit more on picking up heroes that suit their comp per se. And I think Darcy is just a general banner. Like it doesn't really counter anything. But Darcy is just a hero that has a lot of high burst. It's a flex pick as well. You know, it can go mid, it can kind of go in the jungle, where as of now, you don't know where they might go towards because you have Varus, you have Hayate, which is your marksman. So it's kind of the mid and jungle that is a flex pick. So I think they want to ban out Darcy because it can go either way.
Yeah, I think this will be interesting lineup for Space as well. As you have seen, Space, they have the potential and ability to kind of structure their team fights in a way that they get free pokes out of every exchange, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see whether Raventail can do any different, make any difference today compared to the teams that they were playing
Illinois got
against.
banned out?
Yep. So Elandor is going to be banned out as well as along with the Zeal for Raventail. So this is interesting. I think the mobility wise on both teams still pretty good. You have Hayate and Varus who can just enter and jump into a fight, exit as well as and when they please. Of course, on the side of Raventail, you have Tane who can actually disengage or engage in a fight pretty easily with the dash as well. Joker and Maja, needless to say, even more mobile. Maja with the ultimate, able to dodge a lot of skills. Joker, the physical invincibility frames, right, for the second skill, as well as his ultimate to kind of jump in and out in specified directions. So pretty
I
interesting.
think the
so far.
Rocket has a high amount of burst as well, so I think that is the damage component for the side of Raventail. The only thing I don't really like right now is that they have really late game draft because of the Joker. Yes, you have the Marja that does help the early game, but picking up an Ignis will help because they need a little bit of an AoE control to couple up with the Marja's skills as well as Tane that when he goes in, so that's a little bit of a frontline protection. I think the only hero they really need left is a jungler that can help them accelerate that phase where the Joker is farming, so just to help to fill up the gap. And I think a jungler that can do magic damage would be really good for the side of Raventail because since they already picked up an Ignis. The side of Space Gamer Mamacita, it looks like they are considering the Lindis. They need someone that can now jump onto the Joker. They don't have someone that can do just that. They have a Lindis that's really good as well, but they still need someone that can jump onto the backline. I think Hayate, it's just a frontline target, and Omen,
yeah, a good lockdown character.
Yeah, but
able to get it done.
Yeah, but I think the questions are still not answered. Like, who's going to be able to jump the Joker? Maybe they don't want to jump the Joker. Maybe they just want to take down the Tane and Marja immediately and then,
They
start the
could
backline.
potentially do an exchange of ultimates between Omen and Marja.
Oh, yeah, they could.
At the same time, of course, I think it would be better to catch the Ignis. Ignis is a very mobile character. Once the first skill hits, actually, you do have increased movement speed as well as a shield. So
and he took flash as well. So you need that because, Ignis kit doesn't give you any sort of escape mechanism. You have that movement speed, but it's not like a jump, it's not like a dash, it's not a get closer, so you do really need that flash.
I think perhaps Raventail can go for a more tanky kind of jungle, maybe a Zephyrs or a Zenith as well, just to prepare for the fact that they might get locked down by Omen, since probably she's going to be the first one to jump in as a jungler, right? Murat, alright. So this is going to be a tough game for Omen itself, which is going to be played by Star. She's going to have the job of trying to lock down Winnie with the Murat. If she can pull that off, I think that should secure at least half of the fight for the team, right?
Yeah, but it's definitely going to be quite hard because, Murat isn't the easiest of heroes to actually get locked down on.
Yep.
Although they do have the net as well, so if let's say, the Murat wants to come in, she drops the wind chain, wind cuffs, she can drop the tornado wall as well, and then, it does help a little bit because if the Murat commits to the fight, or rather if the Tane commits to the fight and the Marja comes in too, then you have the net to kind of displace them. She can just stay in the middle, uses the ultimate, and suddenly the Tane and Marja can be caught out really badly. But then Tane is just a really good character after all. It's not the easiest to just zone him out of position because he has that dash. At the same time, his passive does allow him to sustain a little bit more into the fight. So I'm sure that that is questions that Space Gamer Mamacita has to answer into the game. But coming into this first very matchup between these two teams, which hero do you think is gonna be the star of the show for either side?
I mean, taking a look at what Raventail have, I think Murad is a given win condition,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
But the thing is, I think the person more responsible for this will probably be Tane or Ignis, because they will be the two main people who will be able to lock the rest of SGM down. On the side of SGM, I think it really comes down to Annette. Annette's ulti can actually displace, set the tone for the fight, right? If she can separate the carries from the majors and the MMs, I think it gives them a lot of space to play around with, allows Star to go for the correct targets they want to go for, and Hayate and Lindis can just finish the job up. At the backline, Varus just continues to tank and dish out damage.
No, absolutely, I do agree on that as well. But for now, let's take a look at what we have coming into the first game. This is the first game matchup between SGM and Raventail.
Right, best of three. I'm sure both teams will treat it like a best of one, for sure, for every game. So let's take a look at what's going to go down. So far, throughout the games we have seen yesterday, I don't think the teams have been very hyper aggressive on the invade, the level 1 invade, right? So
I think only who's that team, the other team that we actually have on stream. I think it was
Lunaris or
no, not
Selimo,
Lunaris.
Etherpod.
I think it could be.
Well, okay, hold that thought, as we do have a level 1
First blood.
invade here, and Winnie is gonna be the victim of this first movement by Space.
Yeah.
So SGM, I think, doing a really good job. So this slows Winnie's farm down, and Winnie, of course, being the jungler of the team, is gonna suffer a lot here.
Yeah, just when you say Space, I know a little bit of an invade there, but they do get the first blood. Not only that, they are claiming the mid lane as well. As Day9 Realme and Space both have very similar characteristics. They both go that level 1 invade. Although Space definitely more aggressive now, they want to get even more jungle, but look at the difference.
Wow.
Level 3 compared to level 1. Winnie trying to get the heck out of there. The Annette comes in, tries to support onto the Varese as well. She's doing a really good job at managing this fight. It's a 4v3 at this point in time, and you got the Hayate trying to join the fray as well. I don't think they will find any kill here. They just want to secure the Siege Golem, get the level advantage, and this is really bad because
S9 is already 4.
yeah, she's level 4, and then if you look at the Murad, she's level 2, and she hasn't even got a single buff on her.
That's right. This is a nightmare start on the side of Raventail itself. I hope they can try and figure something out to get it back here. Chalian, of course, gonna get the Sentinel for free. Spirit Sentinel on the other hand also S9 here. Lindis getting pretty fat already. Level 5. I think she's the highest in the game right now.
Yeah, it's a scary looking Lindis.
So it is a 2 or at least 3 level advantage across the board for most of the people from Raventail, right? In comparison for
Space
our
Mamasi.
SGM. So S9, I think, oh wow, Star is just going to be hyper aggressive here because the rest of the team is here. Soak up the damage, this is it. So Nox going to be the next one to fall. Like you said, this is not the dream start they were hoping for, but I'm sure they can try and figure a way out to get back.
Oh yeah, and obviously the Mahjong wasn't level 4 yet, so there wasn't really much escape that she could have done. She's just going to hold up. But interesting lane composition coming in from the other team. Like you put a Murad in the jungle that is given, but Joker might be in a little bit of trouble. Has to make sure that nothing is going on the bot lane, while Tane's going to go top side to help relieve a little bit of pressure off the Mahjong. But I would have kind of expected Ignis, or rather the Ignis, to be top, or rather mid, and it is the case. But because of so much rotation in the early game, reacting to Space Gamer Monsters route around their own jungle, it's kind of displays all over the map.
Yeah, the re-invade again, but I think this time Raventail is slightly more equipped to deal with this situation here. Kurazao, of course, you can see she's a very aggressive player, and she's doing very well, creating a lot of space. You can see all of the players on the side of SGM are actually around the map in the middle, and Kurazao just starting out for the team here, giving space for Hati to kind of get the advantage over Joker in the bot lane as well.
Yeah, he's just going for his second Sentinel, but looks like he's going to be dropping it. They just want to focus on the tower. They have one more range pick, and that comes in to join. Try to zone the Joker out of position. They will work, or rather finish off the Sentinel before they work on the Blizzard Dragon mid lane. The Varus up against the Murad. They might just go for a Temporal Turbulence available for him. Walk on the sit, and they might just get the Kurazao. Oh, just comes up just in time, and that will displace him right under the tower. And Winnie trying to buy her way out of the Abyss, she might be able to do so, but both the Maja and Murat are really low. The good thing is they managed to stop Space from getting the Abyssal Dragon.
That's right. So that skill rune that they have set for themselves really showing their money's worth here, as Varus actually makes it out here. So this is going to be potentially the Might Golem going to S9 all on probably S9 since she has jungle buff as well. And so S9 here, if you look at the rotations by HGM, it's really beautiful because they're constantly 3 men in your face at either one of these things,
Yeah,
right?
it's really easy to follow the camera roll as well. You just need to follow this 3-man rotation and you pretty much catch everything on the map. Or rather, that's the case for now. But this is going to be the first siege weapon up, but we already have that first tower down in top lane. First AD not taken yet, but it is Space Gamers who are leading way ahead. They have that 4k goal lead, 5 minutes, that's 1.2k per minute. And it looks like they might finally settle on the first Abyssal Dragon.
Right, Chaylin, I mean, she's one of the highest, she has one of the highest goal counts in the game at this point of time. Already 2.8k, this is one item across most of the people on the side of the field. As you can see, once again, 4 members, good rotations once again, they're going to force the issue here. This is a free tower as well as a free shield by the bottom lane.
red
So
team tower
if you look
has
at the
been
goal difference now,
destroyed.
it's crazy, it's close to 4k. And this is the first AD of the game. Of course, this is going to be a level for the side of the field. It's really easy for them. The level advantage and the goal advantage is
Yeah, and not only that, now you can see the Joker, they have a little bit of trouble trying to close the gap. Obviously, Linda's already starting to pop off. She does have Smite, so she's definitely way ahead in terms of if you compare the two teams.
red
And
team
the jungler
tower
not
has
doing
been
too
destroyed.
well as well. Avocado doing her best to try to buy a little bit of time for the rest of the team, but it looks like Space Gamers are wrapping it to second gear. They are now starting to take all these objectives. Already 2 towers down in the bot lane, and looks like they are headed towards where Murat is. Have to be careful.
they want to kind of force the issue, make sure that Winnie stays as underfarmed as she possibly can. Space, they are doing a very good job of kind of controlling the lanes as well as the jungle, which is really important when you're playing against Murat. So Winnie, I think she's got a work cut out for her, right? Well, as we are gonna have another tower for free. I think at this point of time, Raventail, there's not much they can do here. Just to make sure Winnie doesn't die too many times. Shaylin goes in.
goes
I
down.
mean, she just goes in. She knows how much of an advantage these guys have all together as a team. And grouped up as 5, you can't do much.
Yeah, and they have the Omen as well, so he can kind of just use chain to just make sure that he gets moved down. There's no form of skip available from Star, and the rest of the team can just power up it. And they look so scary when they're rotating as a group of 5, because there's absolutely nothing that you have now. Every single one of them is overfarmed. Your highest level character is Vinny because she's level 9, but if you compare to the other side, the lowest level is Kurazao and Space Star. So both looking really scary. I mean, the whole team is looking really scary.
Yeah,
S9.
I think this is a
Yeah.
staple here, as we have seen yesterday and today. Space is gonna get the DS, the Dark Slayer, in record time here, 7.5 minutes. It's super
And Tane
crazy.
has yet to get his first major item. He just
Exactly.
managed to complete his glider boots, but it's not enough. And if you look at S9, she's already got the rank breaker. So she's already got armor piercing even before Tane's got his armor. So that's just
It's
scary.
super crazy, right? And Fenris talent here on the side of this slot of Star. So Star is not only super tanky, he's super painful as well.
Yeah, and he's gonna stretch those tanks to pieces, which means Tane is he's like a piece of paper to them now.
Right. So S9, I think super bit skilled of course on MM. Just has to be careful of the magic damage by Nox. But nonetheless, I think the entire team as a whole is able to soak up a lot of damage. So this is gonna be the mount of attack on the top tower. For that second tier tower. It's melting so fast here, and Kurozo just making sure she's being a nuisance, getting the attention from the opponent team. So well done. This is looking really difficult for Raventail, as they look to just push their luck here and try to get the final turret on the top lane.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that Drake will take it down, and yep, it should be successful.
red team
And with the
tower
Space
has
Gamers
been
really making their
destroyed.
way to the mid tower, making towards off the second one, and mid Omen also pushing the bot lane, so that is all 3 lanes getting pressure on Varus onto the enemy lines.
destroyed.
It's so tanky. Just taking attacks from all 3 members of Raventail top
A
lane
red
and
team
down
tower
tower.
has been
So
destroyed.
Space, I mean, they are really far ahead. This is close to an 8k goal lead already, and Item-wise, I think Raventail is still super far behind, and Space Gamer Mamacita, I'm sure they know what they want to do next. Get more objectives as well, leaving only a singular tower in the base on the side of Raventail. The AD has just been taken. I'm guessing they're probably going to wait for the next ES, and they're going to end the game with that, just to keep it secure for themselves.
Yeah, Lolicon has been really underrated as well. I mean, 100% kill participation throughout the entire game, making sure that she lands those win cards, making it, setting up all these fights for the rest of Space Gamers, and on top of it, a really good use of the Tornado Wall as well. She's using it, right underneath the tower. So what this does is it forces the rest of her opponents to actually just back off. There's just no way to get
Winnie gonna get caught again, so can she make it out here? She does make the dodge, but Winnie probably doesn't help it too low. Oh, she does get a return kill. Nope, she doesn't. Winnie just one more hit, but I think at this point of time, with the level disadvantage, this is the best that she can offer at this point of time.
Yeah, Ayate pick up a Slick Sting as well, so that is even more damage going in the way of Space Gamers. And we might have a little bit of trouble for Rivendell because the middle lane is now coming in. It's the only lane left that has that tier 3 tower, but at the same time, Lord coming on, not Lord, but Darkslayer coming up in 2 seconds, and that is gonna be second Dark Slayer of the game going the way of Space Gamers
with no contest for sure.
There's just no way they can go through. They have to go through Averas. There's Omen in the middle as well. He can rotate really quickly if they need. So, man, tough game for Rivendell, but I think this is pretty much GG.
And Joker might get caught out here.
I think he should be fine. He should be able to get out of it.
Star actually landed the counter as well, but I think there's not enough follow-up. There's no other members of Space here on the team, but he's super tanky, super pain, so he can just hold on.
And they're going to come in to support the team as well. And that's going to be Drake down the middle. Should be GG, like I said. The only way they can win is if Space becomes this thing, and I just don't see it.
That's right. Marvin is probably going to die here, taking too much damage. But they do get a return kill, so this is the first kill of the game for Rivendell. Good effort to them. But now they have to deal with this Drake. And it looks like the tower will probably stand for Rivendell here, but they're gonna maybe give away a life or not. Nox has to be really, really careful. He is so low on health, not sure if her ultimate is up at this point of time.
Yeah, Mura was actually still pushing down on the top lane.
Really ballsy move here. Does manage to get blue bar, so she might not make it out though.
Yeah, she's definitely good. I mean, good job because that kind of relieved the pressure down a bit. It kind of drew the rest of Space Gamers down to top lane. So she did manage to get top tower, which is always, for starters, a really good comeback, or the start of a comeback. At least they can try their best. For now, still really far ahead in terms of farm. We are looking at a 9k goal lead.
I think Winnie has already kind of hit her timing. So this is, at this point of time, this is where you need to watch out. Right? Yeah. And she does have the ability to clear 3 members of SGM straight away. But this is just going to be looking to get SGM here. Ooh, falling too low, but the rest of the team gets caught here. A nice combo and finished out by Star as well as the Hayate. Of course, this is, I think, in exchange for her life, leaving just the Joker.
Yeah, I think the Hayate burst was just a little bit too much. Shogun's getting thrown out. There's just no way. The throwing stars were just too much for the side of Rivendell to deal with. It's a 4-man wipe up, and yeah, as powerful as Minion is, I mean, there's only so much you can do. Temporal Turbulence is just, it has high burst, but it doesn't really help in that case. With that being said, it's going to be game 1 going ahead of Space Gamers Mamacita. Can't say I'm too surprised. But it's the surprising part is how dominant they were in the entire game.
I think it all stemmed down to the first invasion, right? So we were kind of baited, I guess even us baited that they weren't gonna do a level 1 invade, but it happened. So Kurosawa, a very aggressive move, I think, along with Lolicon. So the two of them actually managed to steal quite a lot of buffs from Winnie at level 1, which gave them like a 3 level advantage at the start. And that's
4 level. She was level 5 when Winnie was still at level. Oh, okay, that's a 3 level advantage.
Yeah, so that is a super huge advantage, or at least deficit if you want to take a look from Raventail's point of view, and that really killed the game off for them because it was really, really hard to come back from that, right?
Yeah, but that was just game 1. Really fast game coming in from Space Space Gamer Mamacitas. That's a really interesting name to begin with. But that is pretty much it. I think there wasn't really much to break down other than the fact that we are seeing Space Gamers Mamacita being very dominant, picking up where they left off. So we'll most likely go for a 5 minutes break, but when we are back, we'll bring you the second game between these two teams. Hopefully we can see Space, or rather Rivendell, come back a little bit stronger coming into the second game. And yeah, we'll see you right after the break. Alright, and we are back for the second game. Really quick break, but it looks like they will be swapping sides. Rivendell going to be playing on the blue side, and Space Gamer Mamacita are going to be having that second draft, which I think majority of the games that we've seen Space play, they have been on the
Red team's turn to
have.
ban.
But I think it's less of an issue for them, right?
Oh yeah, I don't think it's
really
too
really
much.
strong regardless of whatever side of the map they have been placed on. So I think it really comes down to not only the draft but the way that SGM has been playing so far. They've been really dominant, and it's something that I think the opponent teams have to watch out for. Like this level 1 invade, I wouldn't call it a surprise, but I think that the Rivendell wasn't really equipped or prepared to deal
Red
with it.
team's turn
Oh yeah,
to
absolutely.
ban.
I think it's more of the fact that they defended the first invade with the team at the bottom side because they know that that's where the morale is going to start.
Yep.
But then, coming into the top side, I think they were not prepared for her to rotate so fast.
That's right.
And the best part was Lindis was the jungler. So Virus was kind of like the mid, so they cleared the lane, they went bot to invade, team pushed them back, they cleared the mid again, and then they just went top. And
That's right.
they got the red buff, they got the first blood, and that was just more than
Red
enough. So
team's turn
I think that was
to
really
ban.
hard for the entire game for Murat as well as the rest of Rivendell. The moment that your jungler, which is supposed to be your momentum,
Gets
the
slowed
person
down
that
so
starts the
much, right?
momentum, the moment it gets slowed down, then it's hard to pick up from there. And a team like Space, they don't give you any sort of space to breathe at all, which is quite ironic given their name is Space. So maybe they want all the space on Earth, and that's what they got. They got the entire foe, they got it, the top jungle, bottom jungle. And one important thing for a lot of viewers who are watching out there is about map control. The good thing about, or rather the one important tip for a lot of strong teams is that when you're up ahead, it's always important to continue that momentum and get even more out of it, because sometimes teams kind of lose focus when you get to that finishing line. They don't know how to push the game to end, and they just go around not taking objectives, and that gives the opponents space to buy back. But for Space Gamer Mamacita, well, no mistakes, taking every single buff available, taking Dark Slayer whenever it's up, and pushing every lane possible just to close the game up.
But I think they played really well with
Oh,
that
yeah.
timing. Like every single lane, regardless of whatever lane it was, every time they secured an objective or they were going to get a new objective, most of the time the lanes were pushing in, right? So Rivendell had to defend. They couldn't contest any one of these objectives, and I think this is a very strong point about Space, and I think they're looking to continue this. Now it's going to be switching sides, of course. Omen going to be taken on the side of Rivendell instead, along with the Rogue and Zenio. So this is a very tanky lineup, right? I like this lineup from Rivendell.
Red team's turn
A lot of
to
damage
pick.
as well as a lot of lockdown and a lot of health.
Yeah, Virus and the Darcy got banned out as well, so obviously they want to ban out the Virus. We have seen how comfortable Space Gamer Mamacita are with the Virus, so being banned out, they will settle for the Yena as well as Krignak. Both also very irritating to deal with. Yena obviously going to be going up on the top lane,
Yep.
while we're going to see Krignak in the jungle. He's going to be up against Rogue. Not exactly up against, Rogue is an MM after all, so they can actually just pick another fighter or maybe another mage down the middle.
Well, on a 1v1 situation, if I don't remember wrongly, I think Rogue just destroys Krignak.
They have very different concepts. Krignak is a burst hero. Rogue is a little bit more of a up in your face, kind of different. Like
Yeah.
you
But
kind of see
the burst is still
you
super
kind
insane,
of see a rogue coming up to your face. It's only on whether or not you feel comfortable catching
Red
him down,
team's turn
or you think
to
you can win the
ban.
1v1. Which in most cases, I don't think there are a lot of heroes that can deal with rogue. Like the only heroes that can really deal with him are heroes that have disable, heroes that have very high lifesteal, like a Kilgraf. I think even the Lubu will lose to rogue if he's not careful in terms of
to
how he
ban.
gets
if there is
himself.
an advantage they have taken for
Yeah.
themselves. So I think this is the win condition for Rivendell. They want to kind of snowball as fast as possible because, yeah, like I said, I think Krignak doesn't match up to Rogue that as much, especially in the late game as well. I think Rogue with the shield just kills Krignak right away.
Yeah,
as long as
absolutely.
it's controlled.
I think towards the late game, anyone can kill Krignak. if they're farmed enough, and Krignak does lose a little bit of that,
To ban.
burst damage that he has towards the late game, because everyone just gets a lot of armor and a little bit less squishy. But Atel Anas will be picked up on the side of Space Gamer Momosita. They will pick up the MM for themselves. They're going to ban out the Hayate. And the other side, Annette is going to be banned out. So now they want to ban out, or rather Rivendell want to focus on banning out a lot of heroes that have really big comfort for the side of Space Gamer Momosita, like we saw in Game 1.
That's a very difficult thing, right? We have seen Space get
Oh, they have a huge hero.
Yeah, they're
Turn to
super
ban.
well versed in most of the heroes. So I think this is not a huge issue for them. But I think what Raventail needs to look out for now is that they need to notice that they don't really have range heroes in their lineup currently.
Yeah.
It's
Rogue,
mostly
Xeno, Omen. I
Yeah.
mean, they can pick up the range heroes now if they want to.
Yeah.
I don't recommend the Joker here, because Joker is just going to get destroyed by Talanas.
Yep.
And they kind of need MMs that can be able to deal damage from afar. I think Violet will do a really good job here. I mean, Violet is able to get out of range of Krignak as well.
Right.
She can kind of use her role, and she does have a lot.
I think Wiz
Oh, yeah,
is
Wiz.
a
I kinda
good
forgot about
addition
Wiz.
to this. Wiz for Yawn, I mean with the stuns and as well as the ultimates from both characters, I think either of them pairs well with a Rogue, Omen and Xenial lineup as well.
Turn
So
to
it's gonna
pick.
probably be a D-Rock. This is a D-Rock, yes, D-Rock here on the side of Space. So we've already seen D-Rocks play against Space. We haven't seen Space use D-Rock yet.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see, because I'm sure they know their way around such heroes. D-Rock is a really, really strong hero, especially good lockdown, and it can kind of displace members of the opponent team. So this, to me, is a very good combination along with Krignak and Talanas, because this means that Krignak and Talanas kind of will be able to go in for free.
Yeah, I think having a little bit of a difficulty trying to figure out what would be a really good draw for Rivendell. They need someone that's able to. Oh, Kali.
Kali.
I don't know. I mean, they have a good. I mean, picking up Kali will help in their burst damage. It does help definitely.
She does have a very good passive.
Yeah.
It's very painful. Well, just as you were saying, so
Ooh,
Joker.
yeah, I don't know.
Alright.
I don't know about the
Turn
Joker pick. I
to
really don't like that pick. I think Joker is a really strong hero, but coming into this draft, I mean, if you look at what Space have on board, I mean, a Krignak, a Talanas that can outrange Joker early game. And obviously she's not gonna do well against Yena as well if he comes in for the gank. So I don't know. Maybe it's a comfort pick for Rivendell. It might be a one trick, but I doubt so. I think they just feel that Joker is the right situation.
I think the thing here is that they might get confused during the team fights, because Krignak has the ability to just jump past most of the lineups, right? Even though Omen has the ultimate lockdown, Krignak, it's hard to have a less than 0.5 second reaction time to kind of catch him before she does a jump in, right?
Absolutely.
And now
and
they have a zip. Potentially is not looking too good.
that
on
was
the
surprising.
side.
It's surprising that Zip got let through all the way to the last pick. I mean, usually it's either a first pick or first ban, but this time around, I think Zip looks good on this draft. It does help them a little bit as well. If Omen does catch someone, Zip can just get him out of the lockdown. It can actually absolutely help them as well. If a Rook comes in, Zip can also kind of disengage from the team. So the only real target that they can go for now on the side of Rivendell is take the Zip out before the team fight appears. If you don't take out the Zip, then there's going to be an issue. Just like we saw in the first game where Space Gamer Momosita. I think what's really dangerous about the team is that they make heroes that don't look dangerous a core part of the rotation. Like, the Annette coming to game 1, the Veras obviously is dangerous, but the way that they use the support, having 100% Q participation up to even the late game, making the whole team work and gel together, that is what is dangerous about SGM. And now with a Zip, man, I think it's going to be a
10
hard matchup
seconds
for Rivendell.
remaining.
Right, I'm curious to see how they will be playing this Kali on the side of Raventail. Of course, there is the typical magic damage where you kind of use your ultimate to kind of kite the team, right? But right now, I think what will do good for them is to have the normal attack magic damage Kali. That would be interesting. So
She
go
does
with
have the range as well,
Yeah.
which we kind of mentioned that they lack. So they pick up the Kali. I don't know. I think the whole draft is not too bad, other than the Joker. I'm not trying to be biased against the Joker. It's not that I don't like the hero. I'm just saying that in this draft,
5
might have a
conquerors.
difficulty.
You have to trust what they think about.
Well, I mean, the draft is quite impressive, but if you consider the fact that all 10 of them are conquerors, then
Well,
that kind of removes it out of the equation. I mean, when it comes down to knockout stage, ranks don't really matter. If you make a small slip up, then those ranks don't.
yeah, you'll
don't
be
mean
punished
nothing.
pretty hard for it. So I mean, I would probably favor SGM's lineup and draft a little more. I think they have slightly more options in comparison to what they have on Raven Hill.
Welcome to
So
Arena.
Raven Hill, I think they have their backs up against the wall. First and foremost,
Get
this
ready.
is a
Minions
catch-up
will
game.
be
Right? They have to
deployed
take this
in
win,
5
try and make it
seconds.
even. But we'll see how this goes. Hopefully,
Prepare to engage.
they get the first defense of this level 1 invasion done. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And now we are ready to go into the second game. And like we said, that gang might be on the table, available for the Rivendell to kind of defend against. And true enough, Zip, he's gonna use Angry. He's gonna take out the Sage Golem and he's gonna bring it far, far, far away. And that is gonna
Lolicon
be.
might pay the price though, as the rest of Rivendell fall in and they actually get the kill. So this is good.
Is that worth it though? That's the question. Because Weenie now, he's still gonna be on level. She'll still be able to get that level 2. The only downside is Krigna's already gonna be hitting that level 2 when he gets the small buff. So
Well, Quicknut is a very fast jungler, right? As we already mentioned. But I think not only that, I think Talonaz also at the same time that Zip was trying to take the mic buff. Oh, sorry, was it blue buff? Yeah. Talonaz was going for the mic buff on the bottom end, but I think she was also dropped by Coco as well. So
I think that would have been worth it if they invaded immediately into the jungle and stopped the Krigna from getting the might buff. That would have been way more worth it, because now the Krigna is still gonna get level 4, right? You get the first blood, but you don't have too much of a lead. You lost that mid advantage because you were busy trying to defend your own blue buff. So it's kind of a fair trade-off per se, but not too much out of that first. Nothing too much for Zip to lose.
Chillin for a first time, not doing too well in lane. Good rotations here on the side of Rivendell, making sure that Talonaz does not have a perfect start, as she is one of the main reasons and factors where they can actually win teamfights later in the game as well. So babysitting here by Marvis on the Zenio. It looks like S9 doing a really good job getting up her farm as fast as she can.
Vinny coming down to the mid lane. He has the double buff, so I think they are looking for a fight right here. Krigna doesn't really have his Sage buff, and both Sage buff will run out.
Winnie might get caught out here. The rotation, they do spot her out, and it looks like, ooh, there's a lot of damage here, close to half her
I think it
health.
was a blind shot. They knew he was in the bush, but I think they just threw everything there, hoping to hit.
Yeah,
And
Kurosawa, I mean, we already know she's good at heroes she plays, right? But I think this map control so far they have shown on the side of SGM really doing well for them, as they are probably going to secure the AD for themselves. Oh no, have they done too far? Okay, they haven't. But so this is the first time I think we have witnessed at least an attempt at a contest for the AD against
yeah, but
SGM.
I think Marvis didn't have that level 4, so they were not too confident taking the fight. You can see he uses his jump away as well, just to make sure he gets space. Kurosawa has to be a bit careful, although, now he's getting surrounded, gets spotted on the mid, gets a little bit of a pull, but he knows there's just no way he's going to win 1v3, just going to back off.
I mean, Nox is doing a decent job of holding her lane so far against Yena Rimu. So, Rimu, I mean, yeah, we've seen this matchup yesterday. Yena, depending on how much of an advantage, just measures moments quite bad. Looks like they're gonna interrupt this Might Golem attempt here by Winnie, and looks like the team is gonna try and force the issue here. First kill for the game, as Marvis actually makes it out alive.
Yep.
So SGM really aggressive. All 4 members are already down. It looks like they're gonna have a rotation from the mid as well. Yena trying to control the lanes for herself. Oh, what a nice stun there. As S9 looks for space to try and jump in. Oh, they actually do get the stun.
Oh!
Looks like throws out a nice shot there, and it's gonna be the second kill. No, first kill for the team. And Lolicon saving the day here. Can she make it out? And she does here with the Kali ultimate being used, but to very little avail here. Throws out so tanky.
Yeah, good reaction coming out from Lolicon as well. Using Angry at the right time, getting every single member out of danger, using Sprint as well, just to make sure a team gets alive. Really couldn't chase as well. So really good play coming out from Space. Like game management, they managed to pick up Zenio as well. So it's not too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah, it's a 1-for-1 right at this point of time. So,
Oh.
2-for-1. Joker actually gonna be the next one to take a blow here as Lolicon tries to be irritating, get in Marvin's face as well as Winnie's face to make sure that the jungle bus at least we don't get it for free, right?
Yeah, meanwhile, top lane, Omen and Yen are going to be calling it a draw. A stalemate rather, but Omen obviously trying his best to steal a little bit more remove, waiting for the last hit, but it's still getting stolen away. Oh,
Right.
Abyssal Dragon, maybe?
Oh, here's another fight. S9 here, they are attempting to start the AD, and I'm pretty sure Marv is not going to try and let that happen. She's pretty even at this point of time, so she is able to tank a lot of damage. But of course, contest not going to work out as S9 are going to be chasing in for weak. Not too much damage, just a bit. As long as I haven't grace here from Marvis.
A little bit of a wasted, I think wasted ulti from a little bit not needed. Oh, really? The roll comes in, they might be able to get it as well. It comes in right on time, and the quick now we're able to get one kill onto the Xeno. And like I said, that was a little bit of a premature ulti right there. Darcy gonna be using ultimate as well, hopefully to land on a rogue, but he's already away. Good engagement coming from space as well.
Right, I think they caught him at a really bad time, especially at how Zip was around and rolling. So Winnie was kind of confused, they made it easy for her. And it's like Loricon's gonna save S9 from Harry ultimate. They make it out safely, for sure. So this is one of the strengths of Zip as well, as we already mentioned. And it looks pretty even so far. Just a slight advantage, a 2k advantage of space. And SGM here, Lolicon getting shot at, but you know, doesn't really feel the pinch here.
He uses sprint as well, so that's gonna be no sprint for 60 seconds, although I don't think that's gonna be too much of a loss. It stunned him up even before he can use the rocket, so that's really good.
Right, and in the middle, D-Rock seems to be doing not bad. So Kurosawa holding the
Blue team
as they
tower
get
has
the
been
first
destroyed.
tower on the side of SGM here. Lolicon gonna roll out. Really sick move there. To get the objective, get out safely, and here they probably gonna secure the Sentinel for themselves. What the last hit being missed out by Reverse Gambit.
Now they can make their way down to mid lane, although they have the Kalu. He's gotta focus on clearing up the lanes, they know once again be. And I mean, it's not as dominant as the first game, but they are still up ahead by 3k. You know, they got the 2 Abyssal Dragons. They've got a little bit of a lane pressure. Telenas now popping off as well. They're gonna take the mid tower
Blue
on
team
contested.
tower has been destroyed.
And this is where I kinda question this. The Joker's not up and running. He's not available for team fights. He's so far behind in terms of farm as compared to Telenas.
Ram breaker for her now at this point of time. So
Yeah, 1.4k
still okay.
behind.
Yep. Decent damage output, I will guess, but not enough for sure, as the level advantage is definitely in SGM's favor here. This is 7.5 minutes. Are we gonna look at another DS straight away?
I don't think so. I mean, the rest of Rivendell are quite nearby, so I don't think they will risk that fight. Although if Omen and Xeno reviews themselves,
Winnie might get caught out here. Actually, a ballsy move, trying to go in, gets the shield, and she actually gets a kill here. Kurosawa, that passive on the skill actually makes it safe for herself. And looks like Marvis is gonna be the first one to fall. Too much damage here, too much magic damage, I think, on the side of SGM. So Xeno, I think with the item build that she has gotten so far, just managing to get a bit of magic defense. But it looks like here, Joker's gonna fall as well, as the rest of SGM. They smell blood, they
A
just
blue
go
team
in
tower has been
everything.
destroyed.
yeah, I mean, Lolicon did a good job as well, following up onto the
Ultimate.
Reras, you know, half chain, making sure that they get not only the lockdown but secure the kill onto the Joker. And I mean, 15 seconds, no Joker. It's gonna be quite easy for them to pick up the Dark Slayer.
And 30 seconds late, but here comes the DS for the side of SGM, right? No contest once again. If you look at the positioning and how they're supposed to be lanes, it's really easy for Space to kind of take all these major objectives for themselves. So this means the Drake is in their favor and not gonna do too well against Winnie here. While Winnie comes down to fight and gets some help. So Winnie, let's take a look at the DPS on the Remu is probably this. So Winnie, well done in terms of rotations to her, saving Nox as well. So now Space, I think this is not as easy as the first game like you mentioned before, but they still have a lot of this.
Yeah, absolutely. But now let's take a look at how Shaolin is doing. They've already got the Dark Slayer buff, and you know, obviously losing Geras is not what they really want, or losing Remu is not what they really want. But I mean, it's not all that is lost. 4 seconds, she should be up. She still can make it. They also get the Abyssal Dragon through the quick knock, and this is where I think the next engagement is going to define the game. If they don't get caught out, Shelly bad positioning as well, but Vinny, turns his target down onto Darcy. Angry a little bit too late coming off from Lolicon, and they might pay that for more.
Red
Drake
team
on top lane,
tower has
but I
been
don't think they can go for the
destroyed.
push.
Well, I still think it's a win in the book, right? You get a kill, you get one free tower at the top lane, and you get rotations.
Oh
around
yeah,
the
it's a
map.
push.
Zenio actually, Marvis actually gets a free lane for herself, pushing in the bot lane. So if you take a look at the rotation by Rimu has to run all the way down, which means that this is going to be a difficult take. Oh wow, Avocado actually loses half her health here. Winnie is going to die next. So Nox and Marvis comes into the kill. This looks like a pretty bad fight for SGM actually. So Lolicon is going to actually fall. Killing the next one to fall as well. They're going to just ignore the Drake for now because they know that is a bigger objective. Nox, can she get the hook in? Probably not going to get a pull in here. Kurosawa right in the face of Nox, but Nox is unfazed by this. It's okay. Really tanky character.
So even if they lose like a couple of members down there, they make the re-rotation, they go up the top, they pressure with the zip, and suddenly they get two really good kills. They get the rook off before Heaven Grace can land on him,
Right.
and they get a bomb tower as well. So I think Space just did a really good job. They get the boomstick down on Kurosawa as well. That's even more burst damage. But at this point of time, I gotta say, Rivendell doing a lot better than game 1.
That's right. I mean, there is a potential for comeback because we have already seen how strong Winnie is. So Winnie, I think what they need to help her with is just a faster reaction time in terms of the Heaven's Grace from Marvis, right? Once that ultimate jumps comes down, that heal towards Winnie, she kind of becomes a god, essentially. Second line.
Space Gamer Mamacita slowing it down a little bit, regrouping. They have been giving away a couple of kills in the past few engagements, and now they want to focus on the Virtual Dragon. Not the enriched one yet, so it isn't too bad, even if Rivendell don't contest for it. Although we do see the rook going around. S9, he's contemplating it, but good disengage there. Meanwhile, they do find a kill onto the Omen top lane. Lolicon gets knocked out onto Darcy as well. Not linking up for the Darcy, but
S9,
it's a
she's
kill.
gonna jump in? No, she's not. Oh, that was close.
I don't think it's the right jump. But, Avocado gonna be using the ultimate to clear up the lanes and make sure that they got pushed back. But this is the setup for the
Again.
Dark Slayer.
That's right. So one member, the numbers advantage, and it looks like Rimu is gonna be their attempt
A
at a
blue
redemption
team
device
tower
here
has
as they
been
use the
destroyed.
At the bottom lane, Marvis is actually going to help out and try and catch. But Rimu, as we already know, really tanky character, so she doesn't mind having this skirmish, right? As the rest of the team has already completed the objective for the DS, they're going to come down, make the rotations. You can see the whole team marching down. They like to move in numbers of 4. Right, so they give Rimu a lot of space. Winnie, does she get a kill on S9? No, she doesn't. Too painful for her as Winnie gets taken out, and this doesn't look too good. She's out. I'm not sure how long she's going to be out for on the side of Winnie, but Winnie's going to be out for 29 seconds. That's a very long time, especially when you have very tanky characters on the side of SGM and very painful ones as well. S9 busy farming up the buffs, making sure she is as strong as possible as the Drake is gonna continue the pressure on the bottom lane. As you can see, in the middle lane, Marvis actually the next one to fall. Dirak, a nice kill.
Yeah, that's gonna be a little bit of pressure coming in from Space Gamer. They really want to end the game right now. And Rook will come up, but no Zeno, no Heaven's Grace in the next 28 seconds. This might be a big game changer. Krignak still farming the jungle while Tao Anas alone. Look at how quickly they're striding this bottom lane. Mini comes up, but has to be careful. Gets stunned out by the Darcy as well. That's going to zip, slowing him down. The stun coming up.
Right. So double stuns, all the lockdown onto Winnie. I mean, this is really brilliant play by Space here. SGM, they really know how their characters work, and looks like Avocado is going to get poked off as well as Chaylin just comes in with the damage. It doesn't matter whether you use your ultimate or not, she's just gonna burst you. And this is game set here. SGM is gonna be your first grand finalist of the day. Beautiful play here. I think Rivendell, they did pull out as many tricks as they can. They came in. Winnie really took a stomp. But she did it. She did it as best as she could. She managed to get a few kills along the way as well, but of course SGM, I think they just had better coordination, better farming, and as well as lane control, right? So once again, it was the same story. SGM, they managed to kind of take a look at how they want to structure the timing of the lanes. Once the pressure was in, they took the major objectives, get the towers, and get the kills.
Yeah, I think, having the Tellernas on the team definitely does help quite a bit if you consider the fact that, early game they were pushing really quickly. Although Shenlong didn't have the easiest of game in the first 5 minutes. You did see Winnie as well as, Marvis coming to the bot, trying to pressure Tellernas, making sure that, Ruby, who's playing the Joker, can catch up, not only in terms of farm, but doesn't get pressured too much by the counter laner as well. So I think in all in all, it's just Space Gamers doing a really good game management in terms of from the early to mid. Although we gotta say, the side of Rivendell did a really good job coming into the second phase of the game, where they were pushing back Space on a couple of occasions. They were finding a couple of pickoffs through Winnie, but there was only so much that the Rogue could do. Once you hit that late game, when the Tellernas comes online, she's got a Sling Sting. She's got all the Rapier as well. All the damage coming in, then it's gonna be tough. But that being said, congratulations to Space Gamer Mamacita. They will be your first grand finalists in this matchup, or rather in this Thai qualifiers. They will be up against the winner of Biruram United Esports and Day9 Realme. We'll try to get the score up for you as soon as possible. But we'll go for a short break. When we are back, we'll bring you the grand finals of the Thai qualifier.